All right. So this is the second episode vlog of my franchise journey, our family's franchise journey with Tropical Smoothie Cafe. So it's been a couple weeks, and I know I said I was going to try to upload a new video about a week after my last one, but not a lot has happened. And people told me that the site selection process is going to take a while. I was like, nah, live in a small town, it's not going to take a while. Well, it's going to take a while. Mainly because there's not a lot of inventory currently, and it's just going to take a while. So I want to talk about just a couple of things. First thing is visiting an existing franchisee, and then just the site selection process that we're going through right now. So first things first, visiting an existing franchisee was awesome. We've talked to multiple franchisees, but it was amazing to be able to go to their operations. And we actually went to a city that had multiple locations that we can go to and see different types, small, larger. It was awesome. We got to see kind of the struggles that they go through, setting up a new location. What were some of the pitfalls they ran into? What's their advice that they have to give to us? And kind of look at the operations as it's working. And we even ordered some food and just kind of watched it being made, which was amazing. So we went to these locations and we were able to have just open and honest discussions with the franchisees about things. And we took them to lunch and had even more conversations about marketing. What was it like to open your first location? What was grand opening week like? What was the grand opening day like? What were some of the things that you do? These are amazing things we were able to talk about. And it ran the gamut from what does your day-to-day look like as an owner-operator? What are your biggest struggles? What are some of your struggles with the franchise, and with corporate? What happens if you run out of product? What are the busiest times? How do you hire people? How do you communicate with your staff? Just all these questions were just coming forth. We had a list of questions that we went through. It was amazing. We spent all day there, and we probably could have spent even longer. We were so grateful for their time that they gave to us. They were able to spend all that time with us during a time when they're super busy. They're super, super busy. So grateful for that. Highly recommend that. No matter what franchise you're going into, go visit some existing locations. Talk to the owner operators. Talk to the managers there. Talk to the employees. I had the opportunity to talk to some of the employees there. It was awesome. Get to see what they do, watch as they were making the items. And it just gives you such a good glimpse behind the curtain, not necessarily like you're there to work, but at least you get to see behind the curtain a little bit. If you've never been behind the counter of like a fast food chain or what they call QSR, quick serve restaurant, it's a little eye-opening. Some of them are not very clean and sanitary. Fortunately, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, they were like pristine. It was amazing. So it's just good. We got to see the struggles that they're having with logistics, delivery of product, just other things like that. What happens when the product comes in, and what does it look like in the back? How do you organize things? All these things were just kind of running through our head. We've got several months. I would probably, if I was a betting man, probably a year. I'm hoping a lot less, but that brings me to my next point, which is site selection. We started this several weeks ago. We were told that this process takes 3 to 6 months. And then again, beginning of this video, I said, no way, it's not going to take 3 or 6 months. We are going to be the trailblazers. We're going to do this in a couple weeks. We're just going to power through it and get it done. Small town, easy. What you don't realize, or what I didn't realize, let me use that phrase, what I didn't realize, I didn't realize how much I don't look at for lease space. I am now. Like every time I drive around town. Oh, for lease. Oh, not for lease. That would be a great spot. I never did that before. And there's folks out there that might kind of take note of that. But so right now there's not a lot of release signs in our town. So it's a waiting game. You have options. Option number one, you go in an existing structure. This is probably the fastest. Is what I've been told. It's the fastest. And as this vlog goes, You'll see if it is or not. Go into an existing structure and then build it out from there. Several months later, you open up. Second option is basically building from scratch. And that could be that you partner with a developer and they build the suit. Basically, they build the shell and you come in and put your stuff. Or secret option 2B is that you buy the land and build it yourself. That's the most expensive option. That is not the option that we're prepared to go down. So we're exploring both options. We're looking at land that has developers getting ready to develop, and which is awesome. We would love to have a brand new building, but it takes a long time. And so what we want to do is ultimately we want to open up a bunch of locations. But we have to start with one. And obviously the first one you want to get done quickly. We're investing all this money, all this time, all this effort. We want a return on all that. So it's the patience game. And I have no patience, unfortunately. So I get a little antsy, get a little cranky, and we have a wonderful broker that's helping us out. Our franchisor was able to connect us with a great broker. We were able to work with them, tell them what we need. We've been working together, looking at spaces. They're calling people, they're coordinating things. There's just not a lot in our neighborhood, and actually not just neighborhood, our city. There's a lot that's going to be happening. There's a lot of build out that's going to be happening at different parts of the town, but it's just not happening right now. So it's frustrating. So it's a waiting game. That's where we're at right now. So the best advice I can give to you if you are just starting out your franchise journey is be prepared to have that site selection take a long time. 3 to 6 months. It's a long time. We're about a month into it. So I'm antsy. I want to get going. So I will update this as we have more information. We've gone and looked at some locations. There's some fantastic locations, but we just haven't locked one down. That gets me to the next little topic here about site selection. As you're looking, you find a location that you want to do something with. Your broker is going to work with you to create what's called an LOI, a letter of intent. Basically, in residential terms, residential real estate terms, it's kind of like an offer. It's an offer letter. I'm making an offer for this space. I have a letter of intent. I have an intent to use your space. And we lay out certain things that we want out of this. How much space? If the space is too big and it's big enough for 2 businesses, we want to demise part of it, put up a wall, and just different things that are going to be spelled out there. We also included a pre-qual from our financer. So just let it be known, we're prepared. We have the money to back us. We're ready to pull the trigger on it and get going. Let's get to work. So that letter of intent is given to the owner of the location, and then they evaluate it. And then they're going to crunch the numbers on their side. How much is it really going to cost them to create a space within the requirements we've set forth? And does that make financial sense for them? At what point do they turn a profit? So there's all these calculations that go into it. And again, that's part of the waiting game. We put a LOI in about 2 weeks ago, and we're still waiting to hear back. I'm antsy. I'm impatient, remember? So just that waiting game. And so we'll do that LOI and hopefully hear back. It might be a back and forth. You'll know more when I know more. So that's where we're at right now. We've put in an LOI for a couple locations. We're just waiting to hear back. And if one of them pans out, yes, it'd be amazing. If not, then frowny face emoji, we're going to have to go find somewhere else. And so we're on constant lookout. You'll find yourself just looking everywhere. Oh, as I drive down or walk down the street, you'll see things. You go to lunch and look across the street and go, that would be a great location. Too bad there's a business there. But so that's where we're at today. I will update as I have more information, and just wanted to give a quick update as to where we are at. This is mostly for my benefit, my sanity, to just rehash it later on and see where my brain was at. So take care. We'll see you next time around.